And welcome. Really glad to have you back. Now, I wanted to add in these videos where I actually kind of talk to you and share a bit of my thoughts around the business, the process that I do, the way that I work. So this is going to be the first one of all of these. And today I'm going to talk a bit about the creative process that we go on and the creative journey. And how important it is to sort of follow a different way of working and be okay with that. So essentially, what I'm going to be talking about today is that we don't just go from A to B. We go on a journey from A to B. So we move to different points, and that being totally fine. What we're going to do is if we kind of go to this point where we're actually going to be going from A to B and we miss all of these parts in between, that's going to be a big problem. What we really want to do is we want to make sure that we can deliver by having every little bit of experience along the way. So I'm going to jump into it. Let's get started. Okay, so when we look at this, when we look at any journey or any project, we're going to start at A and we want to get to B, right? So when we look at that, what we're thinking is this is the start of the project and this is the end of the project. So we're going to go straight from here to here. Now, when we work like that, we miss so much and it's such a shame. So if we start and we say, okay, it's going to look like this, by the end, it's probably going to look like this. It's not going to look much different at all. And I think this is where a lot of creatives and a lot of people in, creating any project might kind of miss the mark. The first thought they think is the best thought. Now, what that means is they've lost so much opportunity to explore that further and delve into more detail. So what we should be looking at really is we should be looking at a journey that starts at A. It starts at A here, and the end result is going to be B. However, it's the in-between part that matters. So if we kind of look at this as our baseline idea, that's going to go from start to finish. Now, our first step might be that we want to explore. So we're going to go up here and we're going to explore. Now, if we look at this scale up and down, what we might be thinking is this is high energy and this is low energy. We're going to call this our energy scale. And what I mean by energy is how we kind of feel as we explore and how we're feeling about the project. Now, I think any creative can agree that as we kind of move forward with things and as we go through a project. Now, when I say project, I mean it could be something for a client, it could be something for the place that you work, or it could just be a personal project. It doesn't matter. And I'm talking about any discipline whatsoever. This could be for illustration or design, but it could also be for a script that you're writing or a piece of music that you're writing. Any kind of creative institution, I think, it kind of works in this scenario. Now, I think all creators will agree that at certain points in a project, you feel really bloody good about that project and you're really excited about where it's going, what's going to happen. And then maybe like 10 minutes later, you feel like absolute rubbish and you cannot get further enough away from this project. We all go through that. You are not alone, trust me. I've been through it quite a bit, and it can be quite humbling to sort of feel that. But at the same time, this is part of the process, and this is part of the exploration. And when we talk and we feel worried about AI or anything, we know AI can't go through that. This is something that is purely creative to kind of go on this journey about how you feel about something. So what we're looking at here is we go up, so we explore, so we're looking and maybe we jump on Pinterest or something like that. We start to understand what else is out there like this and what are some different journeys that I can go on with this project. And so in doing that, we feel pretty good and we feel inspired because we go, oh wow, this is really cool. Now, the next step that we might find kind of maybe sits down here. So this is quite a big leap because we might go, okay, there's all this stuff. I'm going to try something. When you try that first thing, it probably doesn't go all that great. So we're going to say this is maybe a bit of a try point. Okay. Our next step then is we might kind of come back up maybe a bit more level. So then we try a few different options. So we go, okay, let's try some different things. Now, out of those different things, maybe we find one that we really like. Maybe there's one thing that we go, oh, I've tried like 10 different things, but that one is really good. So let's say we bump up right up to here and we're actually feeling great about this and we've gone on this journey. Now we say, okay, this is the one. This is the one thing that we are really keen to explore further. Now we might drop down a little bit closer to our middle line where we're kind of going, okay, I'm trying some different things. I'm liking the direction, but I just want to kind of balance it out a little bit so it's I can understand where it sits. So we're going to call this balance. Now maybe towards the end we kind of get a little bit nervous about where this sits. I'm just going to put this as nervous. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back up to this point and we're going to go, that's it. I've got it. I'm really happy with that. Now, if you miss all of these things and you miss this journey, you're losing so much for your project, and it really needs to be such an important part that you can really engage with. So I'd like you to think about a project that either you're maybe about to set out to do or a project you've done before in any discipline, any time frame, doesn't matter. And think about this journey you've been on. Where was your energy? Was it low or was it high? Think through, was it something that we were exploring? At what points were we kind of doing different things? And it could look totally different to this, okay? So you could be going through so many different sort of ways to explore. Now, if you've done this, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about what you've done, how you found this exercise, and what it feels like to reflect on your projects as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been helpful. I look forward to chatting more soon.